dark over there. You are. Hello. And that came out wrong. Hello and welcome to Broker Than You. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz is a proud supporter of our podcast network, and we appreciate everything he does for us. Green Street Trust International is owned and operated by Renell Jump, and I can now say Jake Voskel. They offer a variety of financial services, but they specialize on tax plans for businesses large and small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you suffered any type of personal injury, a slip and fall, a car accident, a construction beam fell on you at a site, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry and decided to stab you, the Finch firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, if you're in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Down south, we have Julius Williams and the Trench Mob. Julius is in Decatur, Georgia, trains offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments across the country. They were undefeated this past season in every tournament. They also attend college showcase camps. Proud to say, every camp the Trench Mob attended, a member was awarded a full scholarship offer. And just so you know, Julius has sent kids to places like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Tennessee, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. So if you want to work with the best and you're down south, you go to Julius. If you're up north, we have Dynamic Human Performance, owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. Trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program, not bootleg. Andre is not a bootlegger. Andre has a boot camp program 7 days a week at 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, not drunk, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, develops them, helps them to reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. And Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. So if you want to work with the best, he's got a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. You can go to his website, www.dynamichumanperformance.com. And now for the men of the hour from Broker Than You, the king of real estate in Erie, Pennsylvania, with a nice Fu Manchu, Laban Marsh.
Dude, it's a full
no, it's
goatee.
not a Fu Manchu. He's got
so
the full
great.
goatee. It's amazing. Laban, I get comments every week on how your look changes, and you should be like in fashion design, like James was with FUBU. Like we should send you somewhere. And we have Fresh himself from FreshFold Laundry Co. in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, who is also an entrepreneur himself. Fresh, great to see you. You're on mute.
You're muted.
Likewise.
There we
Yes,
go.
likewise. And from Luther James Insurance, the insurance mastermind, the insurance wizard. He will make you a lot of money and will make it for you tax-free. Mr. James Whitfield.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
All right. So
Never too much James.
We had our political talk show last night, which went off the rails a little bit. there were a lot of questions, and it was more directed probably towards this group in the government shutdown and wanting to know if the government shutdown is going to obviously affect the economy. What are some areas that people should have concerns with? What are some things that people should look to maybe save or cut? Do you see it ending anytime soon? There was a lot of concern about where we go from here, because it seems like obviously there's a line drawn in the sand, and there isn't a ton of negotiation going on. But people seem very concerned about saving money, and you guys all have said it's not about what you make, it's what you save. Yeah. And obviously how you believe it will affect our economy going forward. And then the last part being, how much longer could you predict it lasting? I mean, that was the number one question. But Laban, just, for economy purposes, like even for real estate, is the government shutdown something that could affect real estate tremendously or not really?
Well, I mean, it definitely affects people's perception of, the future and what's going on here. I know for me, like today's October 15th. So for anyone that is filing your taxes, most people think it's April 15th, which that is tax day. But for a lot of entrepreneurs, we have to file our LLCs first. And then we get to determine how much we get to pay personally. And so today is that day. And my accountant said, hey, make sure you send your checks certified mail, which I don't often do. I'll get a date stamp so they know it was mailed by the 15th. But because the government shut down, we don't know when they're going to get to this. Right? Your state, at least in Pennsylvania, that got mailed out without any worries. But the federal income tax, like, I don't know when they're going to get to that if they're shut down. So, I mean, there's little things like that. I'm not worried about it because we're paying our part and we're going to get the certified receipt, all that good stuff. But it does make you wonder, well, how long being off will it take you to get going again and get caught up with that, which is, not functioned since it's been shut down. So, I mean, as far as the whole economy and what effect it will have, I don't have a grasp on that so well. I know every year it seems like we get to this point and then they either, get it figured out by 11:59 or, so this is the first time that I can remember in a while that it's been shut down for a period of time. How long it will go depends on how well these negotiations go. I mean, I think part of that holdup, and I don't know all of it, but they wanted a 9 or 10 zeros to go to healthcare for illegal.
The healthcare has been the
but I mean,
line in the sand.
But healthcare for whom? And I think this is where part of those issues are. And so at some point, they go back and forth, but at some point you do have to kind of stand your ground. The problem is if both sides stand their ground, when do we get out of this? And so is it when it's too painful for our military or, federal employees who now, like you're saying, might not be sitting on a lot of savings, and so many people rely on their earned income. So
some of them might not be in jobs.
Well, and I think that was part of the point when they were talking about it, like people that are non-essential. Yeah. And even talking about non-essential takes me back to that pandemic, which gives me PTSD a little bit. But non-essential workers, it's like, well, why does the government employ anyone that's non-essential? I mean, that would be a good place to start. But I don't know that I have an answer at all for it or when it might end. But
as far as the real estate market goes, I mean, do you see it affecting purchases or
there are
putting their house on the market or?
There are some federal loan programs that obviously are, I don't know if they're just going to be held up or, because I think some of the things that are in transaction can finish out. I'm not exactly sure on how many deals there are out there that are hinging on the federal government. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be ripple effects as well. And I guess that's where, how long do they hold out? And then once they do get back operating, how long does it take to get caught up on things? So I think that's probably one of the bigger concerns, is because we saw that with the pandemic. We thought, oh, once they, put us back active, people are going to lift their, and they never did. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years where when is inventory going to pick up, and it finally has. So
I just
James.
read where the president is putting tariffs on lumber. Driving up the price of homes.
Oh, well, I mean, that I think tariffs are one thing, and when you look at
something like 100%. I'm sorry, something like 100% tariffs.
I don't know where, and hopefully you're getting most of your lumber from the U.S., but I know Canada provides a ton of that. That's probably one of the largest imports. But I think that's where, even when I look at real estate and building, because I recently saw a statistic, and it's not in Erie, it's other parts of the country where you can actually, home prices have gone up so much, and material has not quite kept up with that rise in price, to where you can build new for less than you can buy resale in some instances. And even in that case, so many people don't realize when you build new, it doesn't include a lawn. It doesn't include so many things that an established home has. So even when you try to compare what it would cost to build versus what it is resale, sometimes the new construction leaves off some costs that, in order to compare to resale, has to have additional expenses involved. But yeah, I think, James, you're right. Obviously, if tariffs are driving up prices on any materials, that gets passed through to the consumer. My concern is more for the contractors that aren't staying up on that. They're bidding jobs, don't realize, lumber's gone up. And so now they go out and try to finish the job. Lumber's gone up, beyond their profit margin. And
they can't pay the price. They can't pay the price.
Yeah.
So I think, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, overall, I think it's a sucky situation because a lot of this could be avoided.
Yeah.
And I don't like to talk politics because, you have people on one side and you have a lot of people on the other side. And the people on the, I don't want to go left, right, or whatever, but the people on the side of power will think the person up top is all absolute. You know what I mean? And no matter what he does affects everybody, because you have people of the same party right now kind of going against the president, and they're all the same.
No, they are,
because it affects them. It affects them.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
go ahead, Fresh.
To address it is, I would say a couple things. For one, I think most people just need to make sure that they stay informed about what's happening and how it can impact them, because it's kind of the information is out there. What happens is there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of misinformation. So you have to make sure that you are up to date on what's happening. But because there's so much information, it's like overload, and you can only pay attention to so much. And a lot of times you're trying to focus on what impacts you and how things impact you, right? Because we're all, I guess, in a sense, kind of selfish in that way. You got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, right? So from that standpoint, everybody needs to make sure that they try to be as informed as possible and focus more on your local politics, because that's what impacts you the most. Mm-hmm. There is a trickle down from the whole how the federal impacts these other levels, but I tell people you got to pay attention and focus from a political standpoint on your local politics, because that's what directly impacts you, whether what your tax rates are locally and how that impacts whether you are going to buy into a certain place. Because, all right, do I want to pay these real estate taxes that are super high now, or can you do certain things? So you have to stay informed and see how that impacts you. So from a standpoint with this government shutdown, it can impact and will impact people on so many levels, because it depends on if you depend on government business, or you depend on, let's just say, I might have some clients that happen to be government workers. So when people have to cut back on things, my thing is not a necessary thing. It's more of a luxury thing, right? So if you're like, well, I got to cut somewhere, you're going to start cutting where it's not mandatory, it's not necessary. So yes, you can see how that can impact someone's business in that way. And then even if the longer the shutdown goes on, the worse it can be. And it's on so many levels. It's locally, right? It's what's happening from a state level, also federally, but it's also a perception from how we are perceived from the rest of the world nowadays.
Exactly.
So it hits on so many different levels. But I would just tell people, for me, I'm always going to I'm going to approach things from a faith standpoint. So you people got to stay faithful in what they know is right and do the right things and continue to look out for themselves from a standpoint of making sure that they can survive, live, and do those things. And again, I always encourage people, we talk about this all the time, because almost everybody, we all here are entrepreneurs. We all work for ourselves in some point, in some instance. We call our own shots. These government workers, some of them blindsided, some of them just got hit by this is what's going on and how these things are impacting it. And it's a major impact. And just from a small standpoint, I'm gonna tell you, I went to a couple stores. I went to Costco yesterday. Took my son, little sidebar. He's side hustling in school, selling like candy and some marshmallows. He's doing little things. He's just making some bread, and he's cool.
Smart.
He's the candy man in school. That's my brother was like that.
He is making some bread, so which is cool. So he's at the point now where he has his own money. He went to re-up. We bought some stuff. Used his own money to buy the stuff. Now, opposed to we gave him money in front end. Now he's like, all right, I got this money. I could pay for it, and doing those things. But even him, right? Let's say he's calling his own shot. Most of the people working for the government, it impacts in so many ways, because now you don't call your own shot. Somebody says you're not essential. You don't have a job right now, and then you have people, that unfortunately you would love to say that your leadership is supposed to do certain things and supposed to lead in a way that's for the greater good of everyone. But I think it's unfortunate that we see what's happening in our society, where it's like personal vendettas are being had against people that are essential in our government.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
It's everything,
right? It's like you shouldn't have personal vendettas because, hey, I just want to stick it to this person or stick it to these people or this party. But hey, it's essential things, right? I was just literally looking at something where it's like Federal Trade Commission people, like FDA, like people that approve certain things and making sure, and it was doing stuff with medical devices. Medical devices, do you know, like that's Band-Aids.
Yeah.
If there's a recall on Band-Aids, if there's something wrong with your pacemaker. So this is where the health part comes in, when you have where people are talking about if there's a recall on something that's going on with your pacemaker, the people that notify you of that information
is in the department.
They're gone. Wow. So that's where the uproar is. So you're having issues there where it's like, look, and that's where you got one side is taking a stand like, look, that should not be a compromise. I understand you want to cut, but it shouldn't be a compromise. So when you have those things happening, it's impacting on so many different levels, and it's bothering people's business. Because even if it's from a standpoint where if I want to order materials, right, that fall under the medical devices, it could be Band-Aids, right? And these Band-Aids had a recall because they was contaminated. I have no, you know what I'm saying? And I, send these, have these mailed out. It comes back to me that I sold contaminated goods, but it wasn't checked. And now, I'm getting sued, but the government, there was no one in place to check it. So it can impact on so many different ways. So it's so, yes. So when you like, how is it? It can impact the lay person on the smallest level to the highest level we're seeing, where there's high level people in positions from military all the way down to Federal Trade Commission to air traffic control, right?
Yeah.
And again, I was just in Canada when I was in Canada.
Correct. Last week,
we experienced delays. People that were traveling in the in our group for what we went for, they had crazy delays in Chicago. Some of these major airports. It is.
Remember when they started doing cuts all over, all through the FAA and everything?
And that's where it was just like, all right, and a lot of it was, again, personal vendetta. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, this is impacting everybody, and it's so crazy that I'm at a point where I was very concerned when we went to Canada. I was like, are we going to be?
Are we going to be able to get back?
Are we going to be able to land?
We have minor delays, and there's huge delays. There's people that got stuck. There's all kind of things. The people that were coming to Canada, they said it was literally, they heard the noises on you heard noises clink, 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 clanking when they were on the what's that? Not the but the when you're about to go to the runway, they had to turn back around. The approach. They had to turn back around, go back, regate, deplane, get on another plane. So
they had to switch planes.
Yes,
that's happened.
Jesus Christ.
Let me tell you something.
This is crazy.
When Trump got back in office, and like that first, I'm going to say maybe that first month. Remember when planes were dropping out of the skies?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was two within about 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
But what did they contribute that to?
Well, one was a helicopter, right?
That's when they were doing all these cuts.
Yeah. So
you're saying they were understaffed? That's how these
they're already understaffed.
Understaffed.
And you cut that. Because you got air traffic controllers working 12-hour days where they're supposed to be working a certain amount of
12 hours.
So what happens, you're looking at a screen with all these little blips.
Yeah, no, it's very you're right.
Oh yeah.
It's just like now for me, my this time of year I do Medicare. I'm afraid to do Medicare because a lot of programs have been cut. A lot of stuff.
Big
I'm getting Medicaid and Medicare.
Yeah, I'm getting notices of what's not commissionable anymore. I'm like, is it worth me doing it? Serious.
It's not commissionable anymore.
There's some programs that are not commissionable. Wow. So it's like, what am I doing this for?
Who dictates whether it's commissionable?
Well, because I'm assuming that
the underwriters
in charge of healthcare, because they've been trying to chop Obamacare since Trump
the
got in office.
Affordable Care Act. That's been a big discussion the last few weeks.
So if you notice, everything right now is down to healthcare.
That's the biggest sticking point. Yeah,
and one side isn't letting go on that because don't want. You don't, and not for nothing. When January comes around, I don't want these people's premiums tripling.
Well, because James, that's what somebody, several people had asked about the open enrollment period.
Yep.
Is that going to be just like a cluster?
It's now, right? It's now, right now.
Yeah, it starts. I thought it started in November.
It's now. Actually, I think it started.
It is now. Okay.
Yeah. I think it started today.
Hey, Rob, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Well, good morning to you.
Central Standard Time.
He's an hour behind us, so that's why. But yeah, no. So. I didn't know that. So open enrollment has already
right now. It's
started.
Open enrollment.
Okay. Yeah, so that was something people have expressed concern about. But would you say, James, as far as your business is concerned, has the shutdown, obviously affecting you commission-wise, depending on what you put people in, has it made you make different types of decisions or go in different directions as a result?
A little yes and a little no. So I don't know if I want to go 100% at it this year.
Right.
because I'm Mr.
You
day by
can.
day. Yeah, I'm Mr. Day by day because honestly, Medicare can take a whole day. You know, I get calls.
It can.
Yeah, I get calls to put people in plans, or I call the people I signed up from last year. I check in on them, and I have to see what plans that I gave them because that plan might change. That plan that I gave them last year might change this year. Yeah, it's so much uncertainty, and I don't like uncertainty. You know what I mean? So like when I tell people, and I've had disagreements with folks about recessions, and every recession that I've been in since I can remember from being a kid, and I'm not trying to call a particular party out, but most of the recessions have been Republican based. Now, Obama had one, and that was because he was.
That was more before him, though, right?
It was way more before him.
Yeah,
and they were all catastrophic.
Yeah, no, it's the worst time.
I mean, it's, and we're talking about the results as far as recessions. I think there's always, I don't want to say always. Usually, both parties have some effect on it. I mean,
of course,
it's a lot like Biden trying to take credit for the peace deals that recently went down. Was there some effect? I'm sure it's all kind of a rolling, momentum of things. So to blame any one party or give credit to any one party, oftentimes it's
foolhardy.
It's accumulation of decision making, and I think that's where, in part, with the shutdown, it's digging their heels in. Whereas in the past, they've always just kind of catered to each other's. Well, maybe not catered to it, but they thought shutting the government down was more of a concern than making things right. And I don't know if this is going to be making things right, but I'm hopeful that that's what they're trying to accomplish with this. And again, that's where the arguments lie. And if it affects you personally, it's going to have far more impact on your thought process of it all. And if it benefits you, then it's doing the right thing. And if it doesn't, then they're scoundrels. So,
you know what I'm amazed at is now on the Republican side that there are Republicans who are sidestepping. They're like, I'm not with him on this because what's going on affects my constituents. And
right.
That's how politicians should be, regardless of party. That's how, like, you shouldn't have to blindly follow one person because honestly, if I see somebody who's bringing himself to the point where he's walking right into the fire, I ain't going in with him. You're on your own on that one.
No, absolutely.
How much loyalty is there? You know what I mean?
Well, and I think even when you go back to these elected officials or what have you, I mean, there should be stewardship. That's where, again, it shouldn't matter what party you're on. I mean, obviously they have their points that they're trying to get through. But at the end of the day, what's the best thing to move the country forward? You're always going to have disagreements on that. And so that's where I think you see where we're at right now, just digging heels in.
Rob, we had several questions about the government shutdown and if it is affecting your business, if you had to make any adjustments to your business, and what advice you would give people going forward, because there is a lot of uncertainty of whether it's going to end anytime soon or not. And if you had to guess, if you could put a time frame on when it could possibly end. I know you'll have some good thoughts on this.
There's several questions in that. Okay.
Yes,
but I would like to start out with this right here. Okay, I'm a speaker. Okay. Yes. And I'm in a room full of nuclear physicists. Okay. And I tell them that there's no difference between nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. They're going to know one thing right off the bat, and that is I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, with the same thing when you talk about Democrats and Republicans. Okay, people say, "Oh, they're the same." All of it. No, they are diametrically opposed. Okay,
right.
We have too much government right now. A lot of people they look at this government shutdown as well. The government's supposed to take care of this and take care of that. No, actually, what's supposed to be happening is you're supposed to be taking care of yourself. 100% responsibility. Okay, the government, everything the government gives to the people, it must first take from the people.
They're not
looking out for you. They are not looking out for you. They are looking out for themselves. Our politicians right now, should never have been no such thing as a career politician. Right. They should all have term limits. There should be no lifetime appointments for anything. And for a person to sit back and say, well, the government did this, the government did that, and now it's impacting my business. The reason why the government is impacting your business is because your focus is off.
Right.
Your focus needs to be on your clients, getting them to where they need to be. And we need to be talking about personal responsibility. All right.
Right.
The Medicare, Medicaid, and all that. And I'm in that space too. Okay. I'm in that space too. And it is very fluid because it changes every year. Why is that? It's because we got these bureaucrats in place.
Right.
That's why. That's why
it makes decisions that affect everyone.
Right. See, you know what? Every government purchase is a third-party purchase, okay? Meaning that they're using money that they didn't earn to buy things they're not going to personally consume. And so will there be waste? You know there's going to be waste.
Of course there is.
They don't do nothing like, they don't do anything with the Medicare, Medicaid, and all that. All they do is sit back and make the rules.
Yeah.
They don't use it.
No, none of them
They don't use it.
No.
Now, when you got a client here and they're wondering whether they're going to pay their rent or buy their medication, you know, that's the thing, right? I mean, I've been in situations, man, people got 10 bottles of medications that they got to take and they got to pay for every day. And they got to decide whether they're going to eat or take the medication. And I will submit this to you too also. We are not in a wellness industry. We are in a sickness industry, okay? Yeah. They just want to treat your symptoms, all right? If I twist your arm up around your back, you're going to feel a pain in your shoulder, right? You can get you some Tylenol. Yeah, it'll ease the pain, but the pain ain't going nowhere. Until you get rid of me behind you twisting your arm, you're going to have that pain.
Exactly.
And this is the way that our pharmaceutical industry and these politicians, that the pharmaceutical companies got their hand in their pocket, okay? Because they all, I mean, it's sad. It's a sad thing. I mean, if you sit down and watch TV long enough, they're going to find something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm. No, of course. Absolutely.
You know, they're going to find something wrong with you. And then they tell you, well, you take this, and then they start telling you about the side effects.
Oh, you ever listen to that?
You might as well keep what you got. You might as well keep what you got.
I'll give you something funny. I had this cardiologist. I had an issue a couple of years ago, and the cardiologist is telling me that I'm very, very sick. He's trying to Jedi mind trick me, right?
Oh yeah,
dead serious.
He tells you that you're very sick.
Mr. Whitfield, you're very, very, very sick. The stuff he gave me made me so dizzy, right? I'm like, I can't take this. I can't take it.
Oh my God! Because
and look at me now. I had put on weight before, but I noticed when I took myself off the medication, I'm fine. Like I might have a little symptom here or there, but he was literally Jedi mind tricking me to tell me that I'm sick. So I had a procedure. It's called an ablation procedure, which clears it puts one artery to the next so that I have now
better blood flow, right?
Right. Now before that, he was trying to put me on a stent. I said I don't need a stent. Because here's the thing.
You're
put me on a stent, I can't get insurance.
Yeah.
Oh. I can't get regular life insurance because I have a stent. That means I have a life insurance.
And you're young. I mean, isn't a stent typically for older people? Yeah.
Well, I know people my age who have them, but the thing is, they don't eat right, they don't exercise or anything.
Yeah, it's if their heart's operating at like 40%, they'll put a stent in, maybe. But
that's
crazy.
So just to prove them wrong, I went to the appointment, the surgeon said, "What are you here for? You don't need a stent." I says, "I know. Tell this moron that." Right? So
the surgeon even said that. He's like, "You don't need a stent."
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
So then they gave me a procedure. It's called an ablation, right?
Yeah.
So when I spoke to the surgeon said, "You'll be back up to your normal routine in a day or two." I was playing basketball the next day.
So it was outpatient, and you immediately.
It wasn't outpatient. I stayed overnight.
You stayed overnight, and you were
stayed overnight. Yeah. Now, was I a little woozy here and there? Yeah. But my mindset is totally different. I was in a park, and I was just shooting ball.
That's unbelievable.
This guy came up and asked me if I wanted to play. I'm like, well, I just had a procedure yesterday.
Probably shouldn't.
You know, he said, "Don't worry, we'll take it easy." I was like Kobe Bryant. I played about 4, maybe 5 games. It was 95-degree weather in the heat. I had my Apple Watch on just to monitor my heart.
Yeah, just to monitor it. Yeah.
Normal.
No problem.
So then I had my follow-up with my cardiologist. This is when I fired him.
I would have been happy to have fired him.
Yeah. So this is when I fired him. He says he's still telling me that I'm sick and wanted to give me this. Yeah. And wanted to give me this Tony Stark heart monitor to walk around with. It was like a giant battery.
Yeah.
It was like a giant battery that I said, I'm not walking around with that. They said, "No way. If you told me 2 months ago, you might have gotten over on me. But see, now you're fired." And I told him to his face, because you're in it for the money.
Yeah,
well, and that is 9 out of 10 positions.
That's what I'm wondering. 9 out
of 10. They're gonna find something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You go to the doctor, and you just sit back and look at the commercials on TV. Say, "Do you have tingling in your toes?"
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You have diarrhea when you sneeze.
Yeah, you have to sneeze and cough at the same time, and then you got to watch out for the wet ones after that.
Yep.
They got medication for everything.
No, I know
everything.
They do.
And your dogs can't keep you up at night.
Yeah. Makes you feel so inadequate. It's like, maybe I am.
They got something for everything, man. We got so many people that are so jacked up on all these different medications, and it's the medications that are making them sick.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine. She's like, "Take your medications." This for what?
Yeah.
I said, "I'll take it for a point." No one tells you when to stop taking it. They just tell you to take it.
Well, you know what? There was a point in my time a few years ago, man, and it seemed like I had to use the bathroom all the time. I had just left out the bathroom, and so I went to the doctor, and they told me that I was coming up on diabetes, right? And so they pulled out the Jardiance and the cholesterol medication and all this kind of stuff. And at the time, I was weighing about 270 pounds. Okay. Wow. And so they gave me all this medication, all this kind of stuff. I said, "Well, what if I just drop 50 pounds?" They said, "Oh, that'll be fine. Drop to 50 pounds, but you still need to take this." Right?
Right.
I said, "Well, okay, I got the medications and all that, and I still got them. I ain't taking none of them." I went from 270 pounds. Right now, I weigh about 187, 88.
Wow. Good for you, man. And that's that personal accountability you're talking about.
Definitely, because the human body, with its just amazing design, was designed to take care of itself.
Amen.
Okay?
Yes.
And then with all this stuff that we eating, all this chemical injected food that we're eating, this processed food and all this kind of stuff, this is what's making us sick.
Yeah,
how is it that people back 60, 70 years ago were living to 80 and 90 years old?
It's funny you say that.
Now you got people in their 30s and 40s that can't even sit up straight.
They look older than us.
Yes.
It's funny you say that, because Razul, he doesn't know Razul, but Razul had a guest on last week. He's got a company called Fit After 40. And all he talked about was having a raw diet, eating more vegetables, more nutrients. And that can make you 1,000 times more healthier than, taking Wegovy or
you know what's another thing too? digging your grave with a spoon and fork, right?
Yeah.
Who said you got to eat 3 times a day?
That's what he said. Intermittent fasting. Yep. He said that too.
Just munch all through the day. Graze like the animals do.
He said that. Yeah.
I've been doing that
He
lately.
said you don't have to starve yourself. He said eat when you're hungry, but just don't eat in excess.
Yeah, eat when you're hungry, but don't stuff yourself.
Well, but even as an athlete, like I remember, if you eat on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being famished, 10 being just you're doing it way too much, eat to like a 6, maybe a 7.
Yes.
And then it was 5 or 6 times a day. So, but there is something, I mean, and I don't do intermittent fasting on purpose, but 3 o'clock rolls around, I'm like, oh man, I haven't eaten.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, yeah,
you just get into that routine, and it's but the bigger thing is then not eating after 8 p.m. It all goes back to, honestly, and I think Robb, just that personal accountability and knowing what you got to do to take care of yourself and not waiting for somebody else to come save you. And it certainly won't be the government saving you. And to that point, they're not trying to provide, much like cancer, they're not trying to provide a treatment or a cure. It benefits them for you not to be well.
Yeah. Right. So they're not trying to provide I'll agree. They're not trying to provide a cure. They're going to give you what they call a quote unquote treatment.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not going to,
it's not a cure.
And that's to all you guys' points, just to kind of add to it, the last thing I'll say about it is this. It's funny how when you look at it, 30, 40, not even just within our lifetimes, right? And I'm just talking about, our 30, when we were in our young kids coming up, probably, single digits to up into probably early teens, was when you started to see the trend. There were cures for things. Things got cured. Vaccines had a different meaning. You got vaccinated for something, you didn't get what you got vaccinated for, right? It wasn't like, which was the craziest thing, during the pandemic. A vaccine, the definition of it changed. It meant you could still.
The definition didn't change. Let me tell you something, man. And you got to, COVID-19 was the second biggest lie ever told to mankind.
Dare I ask the first?
It was the second one. The first one is there ain't no devil.
Oh, well, okay.
There you go.
That's
Lucifer would disagree.
That's the first one right there. And, but back to your point there, Steve, you asked me about the government shutdown, right?
Yeah, that's what people have been asking about. Yes.
The government needs to be shut down because it's way too bloated.
It is.
Everything you do got a government fee, permission, or tax on it. Everything.
100%. Yes.
See, we need to get them out of there, right? See, what we have is we have a government of, by, and for the people. But see, they know something that a lot of people don't know, and that ignorant people can be controlled.
The vulnerable and the ignorant, yes.
Listen, freedom is reserved for knowledgeable and virtuous people. Okay?
Very true.
And I will submit to you right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the days of Noah. When they tell you up is down and down is up, good is bad and bad is good, there's something definitely wrong here. All right?
Because when somebody's peeing on your head and telling you it's raining.
Oh, and you feel it's hot. You feel it's hot.
Laban, there was a question for you about people who are applying for mortgages. Mm-hmm. Will the government shutdown affect their rate, interest rate, or ability to get a mortgage? Do you?
No, it could delay. Like the USDA loans are. Okay. Yeah, those are the ones.
They're on delay.
Yeah.
There's no one to process them.
Right, but like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they're not affected outside of the potential delay because like every bank wants to see your tax returns. Well, you're not getting the most recent ones if they weren't filed before this all. And so there's just other factors of information that will delay that process. So even if you got in before it shut down, there's still, again, it's a shortened staff or what have you, and they got to do that much more work. So it could be delayed. And what happens in delays, it's like any agreement, right? If your dates and time is of the essence, meaning you got to follow these dates. And if you're waiting for an answer from the federal government, You better put that addendum out for 60 days or whatever it might be. So I think that uncertainty, going back to what James said, just not having the certainty of what to do, but we especially have to just make sure we're protecting our clients. If that you don't want them to be in default because they miss certain dates, and then they're saying, well, I didn't have, they're closed. I don't have access to that. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to affect your rate per se. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to slow the process down for a lot of people, but a lot of the loan programs, your conventional loans, aren't really affected by the shutdown per se. But the process is affected. FHA will be affected a little bit. The Federal Housing Administration. Yep. Anything that's supported. And actually I did pull it up real quick. So it's, USDA loans are the most heavily affected because they're based on the Department of Agriculture. FHA loans, which are the Federal Housing Administration, and then Housing and Urban Development.
And that VA too. VA loans are probably going to impact.
Yeah, the VA that was mentioned
so
as well.
Department of VA will continue guaranteeing home loans during a shutdown, right? So, yes. But however, staffing reductions can cause processing delays for appraisals, approvals, and then certificates of eligibility. So, and then it says conventional loans backed by government-sponsored programs, GSEs, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are generally less affected. And then they all talk about delays can still occur if the process requires verification.
But you personally haven't experienced any issues with your own business as far as real estate selling. Okay.
No, and because we're such a fluid business where people are always
used
putting
to
under contract, getting it. Yeah, it's just making sure that you watch for your dates. Again, because time is of the essence with any agreement. You just want to you can't just say, well, I thought everybody knew the government was shut down. It's like, not all are affected the same way.
I apologize. Leon, he is from Louisiana. And he's asked this several times, and I apologize for not getting to you, Leon. Leon is about to open a business, and he's concerned, and he knows that you are in the first year of your business, and with the government shutdown and everything, he's concerned, is the timing right to have his grand opening, or is it something that he should possibly hold off on? He has everything in place, staffing in place, and a grand opening date. And he's just concerned about it. And since you are the entrepreneur expert, he wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Well, I would say, from what it sounds like, if you're saying that he has things already kind of set up,
it could open tomorrow. Yeah.
So if he, if he's prepared and he did preparation to do these things, then that's fine. Also, a lot of people don't know this. Like he should, and I don't know where he is.
He's in Louisiana, but
he's in Louisiana. And from a standpoint of, I don't know if he's done this. He's something, and hopefully, if Leon's listening, Leon,
he is listening.
You can have, believe it or not, you can have more than one grand opening, right? So, right? So you can have it. You can have his grand opening, a soft opening. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But what I would encourage him to do outside of go ahead and probably move forward because you already have your things in place. Only thing I would say is you need to, if you already know what your client base is, if your client base, if your client's pockets are impacted by the government shutdown, then you should have to look at how that will impact your business. So that's one. But two, just to throw a little nugget out there for him, he should get familiar with the local chamber of commerce and things like that. They help a lot of new businesses with grand openings. They may even
giant scissors, dude. They got the giant scissors.
The ribbon cutting ceremony. You could do all of those.
Oh, they'll do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they love doing that, dude. That's Chamber of Commerce. That's what they're all about.
Oh, okay. So if he becomes a chamber member,
so even if, or maybe. I don't know when he plans on doing it. Maybe he still has some time to go ahead and get them involved and say, hey, I have this.
Yeah.
They'll come out and do that. They'll support. They'll even, probably
help
put towards.
He does have time. It's not until next week, but he's just nervous and he was considering delaying.
I would talk with them. They'll give him a heads up and say, hey, you know what? You could stay with your date. They might say, if you could push it back a week, we can do all these things for you.
Yeah.
Or we can get it marketed a little bit more for you. Get some people out So it's a bunch of things. So I would say utilize those resources that he may not have known about. Hopefully he maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I think a lot of people, business owners don't know about all these local resources. You already pay taxes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of local things that you can get involved with.
Even just the news outlets reaching out to them. I mean, they like. I don't know.
They're going to do a story on it. He said.
Oh, good. Okay.
But again, he's just worried. He doesn't understand the specifics behind the government shutdown. As Rob has talked about, knowledge is power. He doesn't have knowledge of
knowledge is not power.
Sorry,
knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power.
Potential
applied knowledge is power.
There you go.
I've learned to choose my words carefully.
Yeah, you better.
Let me add one other thing to that. And here's the thing, just a trigger word for me when people say I when you say worry, right? I was taught you can't do.
Well, he's worried about making payroll, or if something happens. No. I think that's
it's fine. This is going to speak to that point. I'm just from a mindset standpoint. So I always try to take things back from a biblical perspective. You can't worry and pray. You got to pick. You either one or the other. You either worry. You got to struggle. You can't be. You got to pick it. I'm going to worry, or I'm going to pray. So you need to pray that everything is going to go well. You can be aware that there are opportunities that can go wrong, but you get what you focus on. If you tend to put that in, when you put that energy,
what's that law of attraction?
Come back.
Pray for what you want, not for what you don't want.
Yeah,
exactly. Fresh. Let me submit this to you. Where focus goes, energy flows.
There we go. There we go.
And out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. See, what comes out of your mouth is the direct result of what you are allowing into your mind.
Agreed.
Okay. And see, you don't need to be worrying. Worry adds nothing to today.
Nope.
Okay?
Amen.
You don't worry about that. You got to focus on the blessings, because when you focus on your blessings, you have more blessings to focus on.
Right. Right. No, that's very true.
And then see what a lot of people need to understand is that you must engage the brain before you put the mouth in gear.
Oh, you hope so. I got a lot of people the other way.
Yeah, I know.
Well, see, what happens is a lot of people are on what is known as autopilot. And they see it is written, it says death and life is in the power of the tongue.
That's right. Yeah.
Not in the power of God, not in the power of Satan. It's in the power of your tongue. 100%. So you have got to watch what you say, because words manifest. They create. You look around you, everything you see around you was created first by a word.
Let me give you this, Rob. Just like you say, whatever you say, it's there's things that are impregnated with another with your words.
Yeah.
And when people I'm as simple where people say, "Hey, how you feeling?" I say I'm blessed. Doesn't matter if I feel like crap today.
Okay. Yeah, you have to. And that was true when I had shoulder pain, and people would say, "Oh, how you doing?" And I realized I'm like, "Oh, dude, it hurts so bad." And I'm like, man, all I do is tell everybody it hurts so bad, right? And so you have to change the way you think. Yep. And I think for success, and most people that are successful, one of the first things they had to change was the way they think. Yep. Because again, it is so easy to get yourself, and I love that, where focus goes, energy flows. Rob,
negative mindset.
I'll try to make sure I attribute that to you every time I use it. But
just
man,
like I told my crappy doctor, he's telling me I'm sick, and I'm like, bro, I just scored 40 in the park. What are you telling me I'm sick?
You know what? I'll tell you. See,
that makes me really sad.
If you listen to a lie long enough, you will believe it.
You will believe it.
Repetition is something that the market knows a lot about.
Oh man, do they ever?
Keep showing you the same things over and over
again.
Yeah, you see it. Music, entertainment, it happens all the time.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you, man. If you listen to a lie long enough, you will believe it.
You believe it.
Like you I'm gonna digress a little bit here, but you got everybody running around here talking about our democracy, right? Well, listen to this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. We do not live in a democracy.
No, we're a republic.
Democracy means mob rule. Period.
Right.
Okay. Our Constitution is constructed in such a way that the rights of the individual outweigh the rights of the group.
Sure
that's
enough.
what it's been. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. That's
But
why
see,
there's
that's
checks
not what
and
they're telling
balances,
you.
right?
You look at the ignorance that is permeating every aspect of our government. They got the schools and everything. I remember when I was in school, we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning.
We did.
I think
we
they
did
do.
too.
I think they still do. Well, some schools still do.
Some schools do. But
some schools have started back to doing it.
Yeah.
Trump wanted to do that.
And we used to be able to pray. I mean, we used to be able to pray before the pledge or after. Yeah, I mean,
and look at this. You know what? The people that remember civics. You guys, you had to pass civics in order to graduate. You know,
they don't even know the three branches of government.
They took that out.
That was too complicated. The scores were coming in too low.
Took civics.
A lot of young people don't like
civics are out of school.
A lot of young people do not know the three branches of government.
They don't. Not only do they not know the three branches of government, they don't even know who their state senator is.
Oh my God! Well,
let alone even who their mayor is.
I know who mine is.
You know, I mean, the level of deception is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Fresh, are you familiar with groups called a BNI?
Yeah. So
he was asking. Leon asked about that as well.
Yeah, those groups are great. Like the BNI group,
networking.
Usually, it's like one professional per industry.
Yes, joins the group.
So
correct.
You're in a group. It can only be like one dentist, one real estate broker, one attorney, or so. It's usually you become the expert.
You're the specialist. Group. Yes.
So now everybody. So let's just say if it's 30 people in that group of all different professions, then you have. Just think about it. Everybody has a circle of influence. So it's now 29 other circles of influence.
Pass you referrals or whatever.
The idea is yes, you're top of mind because they meet, I think, once a month or something like that. You're top of mind for that circle. Now it's 29 other circles. So ideally, you're the guy, right? You get referred, and that's in addition to you already working your own business. So yeah, BNI groups can be great if you have one that's established in their, they're doing good work.
He was recruited to a BNI group. He was just curious if you would recommend joining one or the other or both. The chamber.
Like we always say, like Laban says all the time, like we talk about this, like you have to do the research. You need to know who you. It's like it's a partnership, or anything else, because it's not free, right? It's a group you're paying into.
Yep.
Because you're paying into that group, it's not free, and you need to make sure
you get your worth out of it.
Yeah, it's going to be beneficial to you. So you can look at it kind of like, hey, who's in the group? They'll give you like how many, or at least they'll give you the breakdown of the group. Like we have, 100 people.
They let him go. He went to one of the group meetings, I guess.
Yeah,
as a visitor, and he liked it. And when you said chamber, he just wanted to know about joining both.
Man, you should join.
He can join both.
Be a part of that makes sense to make sense to have a relationship that can be beneficial to your business, and even more so than be beneficial to your business, that you could be beneficial to someone else, because you gotta give to receive.
That's true.
So if you are giving and you're being a giver,
document all that. Yes,
you're being a giver, then it's gonna come back. It's just the the law of reciprocity.
And part of that going to any of those groups, I think, is setting up your expectations. And what I mean by that is so many people join those thinking they're going to get business directly from that group. But most of those people already have established relationship with someone within your profession. And so what you need to be is that backup plan where it's like, hey, you're always there. You're very consistent. You're very knowledgeable. And so when they hear not just, hey, I need a real estate agent, but man, my buddy had a real estate agent that's been a nightmare. It's like, oh, have them try Laban. I mean, so it's so many people go there thinking I'm going to get business directly from the guy that sits next to me. Well, the guy that sits next to me might have a best friend.
Been part of BNI groups here.
Oh yeah, I can't stand. They're usually early mornings. I can't do.
Yeah, they're at 7 a.m. Yes, he said.
Sorry, nothing before 9:30 for me. Maybe earlier in my career, I would have been willing to make those sacrifices, but with 4 kids getting up for school, it's just
the chamber is obviously larger and has some bigger groups. So that's why he asked.
Well, and I think part of those networking groups, it does depend. Like, you don't want it oversaturated with your own profession because it's not going to be as effective unless you're using it. Like, the other thing is like a Toastmasters group. You need to be good at selling yourself and your pitch.
Oh,
and
you
so
do.
Sometimes
those are skill builders.
It's
actually skills to your
toolbox. Right. A lot of those networking events will give you, 3 minutes to give your pitch to the general public. And that's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So
it is.
Get comfortable being uncomfortable and put yourself in those positions that make you vulnerable, that give you an edge so that the next time you go, you're better. The time you go after that, you're better. And now people look at you as the maven, if you will, of your industry and the expert and the one to go to. So,
James, this comes from LaTanya. She is in Wisconsin. She says that she has a significant, a good amount of debt. And she is concerned if she were to pass, does that debt carry over to her beneficiaries or whatever the life insurance? Does it come out of it?
I wouldn't call them a beneficiary.
I guess the way she's asking.
What I would do, I don't know what kind of debt you have.
Yeah, right.
Some of it can go to your beneficiaries.
She's trying to consolidate her debt, she said right now.
What I would do, does she have, if she has insurance or not?
She does have insurance, yes, but she's worried about the debt. She says, I have debts that will others be responsible for it if I die.
In some cases,
one of her sons has student loans that were taken out in her name. A car that she has, she's still making payments.
Yeah, student loans. It'll definitely go to somebody. But if you're properly insured, 9 out of 10 times, if and when you pass, God forbid, those debtors will come to your insurance. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you have to structure it that way.
Okay.
You have to structure it that way because you can't get like let's say you have insurance and somebody wants to civilly suit you. They can't, even if you're insured, you have $1 million insurance, they can't get it. They can't
go after that estate. Okay.
Yeah, they can't sue you for it. It's still your money.
Right. Okay.
It's still your money. But
that is very helpful.
You can do something like every now and then I would sell like mortgage coverage insurance. I don't like to because it's term insurance. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, she owns her home free and clear.
So they may come to our house.
She was thinking about taking out a second mortgage.
Yeah, they might put a lien on the property.
If she doesn't owe anything, it'd be a first. But
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So that'd be a first. Okay.
Hey guys, let me chime in real quick because I got to roll too. But
yeah, go ahead.
What I would say is, a lot of people, you want to focus. She want to try to. I mean, the main thing I would say, you want to try to protect your assets, right? She wants to
that's exactly what she wants. Yeah.
So remember, like, you need to structure. So she needs to get in touch with someone who can help her understand, like, trust and
put a home in an LLC.
Where to put those things and how to do that. Once she does that, then whatever she wants to leave to someone, it's in that trust and it's in a place of
and it's protected.
It's protected.
Actually, that's a little bit off right there. See, the trust is the entity. You leave it in the trust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying. The beneficiaries have access to it, but it's not theirs. They don't get it. It's in the trust.
It's in the trust.
They'll get control of it once they'll be the person controlling it.
When the person dies,
not controlling it, they'll have access to it. But they can't sell it.
So the trust is like it's a third party entity. So, but the person who built the trust can assign who gets what and where.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You want control. Like, they'll have control over it and be able to do whatever needs to get done with it. And as long as the trustee of the trust will determine who gets the benefits of said trust. So they just need to make sure that they get access to get knowledge about how to take advantage of those vehicles to protect their assets. That's the main thing they want to focus on, and not like, all right, let me go into more debt to cover the expenses.
Yeah.
Like,
if your home is owned outright,
it is out. It is.
I would put it in an LLC. Am I correct here, Laban? Because you can't.
So, yeah, I mean, it depends.
Home in an LLC.
Well,
Absolutely.
it depends on the LLC being how that's structured, whether it's a trust, because again, we're talking about a little bit of different stuff. And then most of the time, my different LLCs are structured because of ownership.
And you have, like,
you know what I mean? So that's where I don't know if the LLC is the right move for her. I don't know if it's talking to an attorney.
No, guys, I'm hop off information.
All right, Fresh.
Thank you, Fresh.
So what we got to understand here, what is an LLC? What does that stand for?
Oh, it's a limited
Limited liability concern. Okay, so what does that mean? You're going to put a house in this? No.
You can't. You can put property. It doesn't matter whether it's a house, even a car.
What you want to do is you look at the different types of trusts that are available. There are a lot of different types of trusts. Okay, LLC is not a trust.
It's not.
Right. That's right.
It's not. But you can put all of those LLCs that you have with different properties and different items into a trust.
There you go. But it don't go vice versa.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, so you
don't necessarily you don't necessarily need an LLC to form a trust and then structure it in a way that you want to direct it. Right. But an LLC is something. I mean, I buy vehicles in my LLC. That's
a business structure.
That's right.
But even an individual, you yourself an individual, you can do that.
A lot of real estate agents create LLCs for their commission earnings. They wanted to go. They don't want to take the payment themselves. They wanted to go right into an LLC. So they're different things. But in the case where she wants protection, I think the trust would be the most appropriate route.
There are many different types of trust. It's not just trust. There are different types of trust.
You have to pick we went over them on the presentation that you made on Friday, the different types of wills and trusts that are available. Okay. Rob, she had a question about universal life insurance. She does not have that policy. She wanted to know if a policy like that would be beneficial for her family because it adds flexibility and you can adjust your monthly payments.
Well, I would submit her to like this right here, okay? Inside of that universal life policy, there's two terms that you got to be very aware of and exactly what they mean. And that is flexible premium and adjustable insurance.
And she thinks that's good.
Right. It's a beautiful thing, but you got to know how they work.
Right,
okay?
Right.
And then there is the COI, the cost of insurance, which people need to be aware of too. Okay, most universal policies are sold based on projections.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. The younger you are, the better it is for you.
Okay.
So something.
It's all about the projections. They don't talk about the moving parts in this thing, except what you're gonna possibly get out of this thing. But there are some other moving parts in there too. And any agent worth their weight is going to explain to them how this thing works. Okay,
yep.
Right. Because you got a $500,000 policy, and it's costing you $500 a month to pay it, but you can only pay $250. What does that mean? You got that flexible premium. Yeah, you can flex that down, but what does it do? It adjusts your insurance too.
It does.
All right. See, this is what people need to know. I mean, a hammer is a beautiful thing. A hammer is a beautiful thing until you got to drive a screw.
James, I just wanted to check with you. November 1st, are you going to be in Connecticut at all?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay. If you're in Connecticut, let me know because I'm going to the UConn game.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to come out with your girl, we can do that.
Who do they play, Steve?
Yeah, UAB.
Hey, and by the way, you sent me a 2-part text yesterday with
one of them wasn't meant for you. I apologize.
Oh, okay. You're like, I got 2 questions for you, and then you asked me one, and I'm like, Is he?
Oh, the second question I'll ask you later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I wanted to. It's after Halloween, so I didn't.
That doesn't mean I won't be able to get up there. I just when you said, "Hey, what do you have November 1st?" I'm like, I don't know, but I know what I have October 31st, which is isn't the end. I mean, I can miss Halloween.
No,
I just it's what October 15th. I don't even think about what I got going on.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Because I got.
Well, Steve, I want to just piggyback on the part about the IUL.
Please do.
Okay, these policies, these products that these insurance companies come up with are designed for one reason and one reason only, so they can make money.
Of course, right.
And that's why they design these products. And so what needs to happen is a person needs to know exactly how it works so they can maximize the benefit of having this product in place. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how they work. And so they get screwed.
Yeah, a lot of these people, they're TikTok investigators.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's we always say they get their law researchers. Their insurance information on TikTok. Yeah.
There's intricacies in these. It's not a one size fit all kind of policy like you would find with Spence or something like that. There's a lot of factors. Some of the factors are age, health.
Yes, she's older. Yes, I think she's just concerned because she had some debt and she wanted to protect herself.
So if she wanted to protect, I don't know how old she is.
I'll find out.
Yeah, but like if she's in her 50s,
I think she's in her 60s from the way it sounds.
I wouldn't do an IUL.
Okay.
I mean, I would do. If she's about protecting her money, I would do an annuity.
Well, putting the home in an LLC, right?
That would probably trust. You'd put in an LLC, but then you put it all into a trust.
A trust, and then it can't be whatever.
See, you gotta understand, the LLC is a business structure.
It is
correct.
Okay, right. You don't put a house in a business structure unless you're using that house for business.
It's more to protect. More to protect your assets.
You protect your assets in the trust.
Right.
But you put it all together.
Right.
What you do with an LLC because I work with a lot of real estate investors also. They all, when they buy a property, they put it in an LLC so that no one can come and fake an accident and sue him personally.
Yeah, it's just they don't want to pierce.
Do you do that too, Laban?
Oh yeah, that's why I have so many entities, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. We've always said I don't want to own the asset. I want to own the entity that
owns the asset.
Yeah. So that's where I have 8 different LLCs, but a lot of my LLCs are created because of the different partnership structure. I have one with my brother and parents, one with my other brother, one with my wife, one with my in-laws. So it just depends. But when we first started for our holdings, we did create an LLC. But I remember we originally bought them personally because when you go for financing, you get a better rate as a personal individual than you would as a business. Like Rob's saying, an LLC is a business holding entity. Yeah. So, but for me, I would have rather have it in the structure for protection and all the benefits of an LLC versus having maybe a little lower interest rate. You get to a point in business. Yeah. I mean, right. And that's where I'm going for the protection versus the profit in that regard, just because it's a long-term delay gratification, playing it as smart as I possibly can. So,
all right. Well, thank you guys for another great show. Big audience answering a lot of questions. Just so he's not here, remember FreshFold Laundry Company, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. High-end laundry service. Remember, tell Fresh I said high-end laundry service. You can book online. You put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, fold it for you within 48 hours. And now they're adding a delivery service. You don't even have to leave your house. You can have it delivered right back to you, or you can go pick it up. They also have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly. You can sign up and you can have your laundry done as much as you want in those 2 weeks. And you can go to his website. It is myfreshfold-laundry.com. And then, of course, James Whitfield of Luther James Insurance. And he has been doing this for the last 3 years, financial services. And he is a mastermind with insurance policies, especially life insurance and retirement planning. He provides financial stability to first responders and police officers. And he will do whatever it takes because he knows the stress that comes with retirement. How much am I going to need? How many years am I going to live? Do I have enough? James will answer all those questions and more because fear of the unknown is real.
It's real.
It's real. And then you can go to his website, lutherjamesinsurance.com. We have Robb Hill as well, also with financial services, insurance policies, an insurance wizard and expert. Both know how to get you money and get it to you tax-free and will help you with retirement planning. And Robb will provide you with all the information necessary and allow you to make the decision. You will never be forced into making a decision. Robb also does public speaking, and we're going to try to get him up to UConn for hopefully a speaking engagement or two. You can go to his website as well to get a consultation and see all the services he offers. It is rhillenterprisesinc.com. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it right. That's good. I didn't screw anything up. All right. So for James, Laban, Robb, I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.